Mr. Van Bevel?
Ironically, while Bill and Erica are both lawyers, my father and sister are lawyers, and I chose to do other things, different career path. One of the things that you will usually be able to tell about me is I'm not dressed like this. I'm usually in a t-shirt, out in the community doing things. And I mention that because when I'm doing cleanups, when I'm walking around working with the kids, it's because I'm a big supporter of the idea that crime leads to grime, or grime leads to crime, I'm sorry. When you look around in a lot of communities, it's just this, you look out your front door and you see something and you feel like this is the way it's supposed to be. We need to inspire people, and we need to get people motivated again and engaged and excited about their communities. So I think I would like to bring that to the entire district, not just one neighborhood over another. But opportunities like food deserts, which you'll see, in Cherry Hill and in Pigtown. There's community gardens, which you can create sustainability there. You can provide food to the neighborhoods there. You can provide involvement by getting in Curtis Bay as a prime example of getting the schools. They have a 4+1 curriculum. So one day each week they're going over there. They're learning about something. It gets, engagement going on. It's all about opportunity and inspiring people so that they feel like there's something to be a part of. Because when you really get down to it, that's what community is. It's being a part of something. And I feel like this question relates to the idea that people have lost sense of community. So those things are things I'd like to see brought back, just getting people more engaged and involved in their community. And it's fairly simple, but I think there's people that want to do it, and I would like to be part of that.
Ms. White, starting with you, many residents in lower income District 10 neighborhoods have complained of how corner store markets are disrespectful and do not register sales. How do you solve relations between the store owners and residents? Or I guess solve bad relations.
Corner store markets do not register sales and
are disrespectful to their customers. I'm guessing that the complaint is that there is some kind of dishonest business practices going on and strained relations between business owners and residents.
That's something. I was recently contacted by a woman who was having some trouble with a store that is owned by someone in Westport. And the community has tolerated her for a very long time. And I think that she should have been removed a long time ago. I think she should have been reported to the authorities for her actions and should have been removed a long time ago. I think that, in all honesty, I don't know if there's a citizens review board. I do know there's a Better Business Bureau. I do know there's the Attorney General's office you can make complaints to for about illegal activity. But I do not know whether or not there's a citizens review board or a process in place for citizens to complain about a particular business owner because of their attitude. I do know that it's illegal not to register sales because it's illegal not to pay your taxes on your sales. And I think the regulatory agencies in force, if they get a complaint like that, need to fully investigate it. But I also think there should be some sort of board set up to deal with business owners in a neighborhood and their relationships with their community, because that's where they get to earn their living from. Me personally, I just wouldn't go to the store anymore and spend my money in it. And I would encourage others not to do that anymore if I had a particular problem with a store. But other than that, I would set something up, community relations, so that they would be able to voice their concerns.
Thank you. Mr. Van Bevel.
Sure. I think there's two entities at fault there outside of the business owner, obviously. The first being, if you're making your elected official aware which hopefully you are, your elected official should be putting pressure on whoever that business owner is and looking into it and seeing if the facts provided are pertinent and if they're realistic. But also better community relations within the police department. So whichever police department that is that's servicing you. I know right now I'm actually working on something, and the one instance somewhat ties into this issue, and where I do get good response for a lot of things that I deal with. This particular case, I have gotten no response. Now, whether or not it's because I'm running against an incumbent and they're trying to make things difficult, I don't know. But there needs to be better community relations with any resident looking to work with law enforcement. If you're going to them to do their job and to report something that you see as suspicious, they need to be doing their due diligence and their job to go out and look into that. So I think it's kind of a three-pronged. If the community knows about it and they're doing all the right things to reach out, really I think your best option right now is to elect someone sitting up here. And I would prefer that that's me, but at least someone that's going to do something, because obviously this is an issue that's been going on for quite some time. And if you can't get better community relations right out of the gate with certain aspects of the police department, then your elected official should be that person that's providing the pressure.
Mr. Marcus?
Certainly active involvement by the councilman would be one. If I hear this, it would be finding out more, going and talking to the store and things like that. We're fortunate down here that the prosecutor that we have here has been going on lots of the citizens on patrol walks, Mr. Albers, and would be responsive, I think, if there's criminal matters going on. And certainly, if I heard somebody's not paying their taxes, I've had no trouble saying to people who complain to me at my job about having to pay the $300 a year to maintain your corporate status. Hey, the government, to provide services, government needs money, and those services include paying my salary. Public servants need to be paid. So I know we need to collect the taxes. So active councilmen, talking to people, getting involved. If in fact efforts have failed, then proceeding with it, and even if they haven't failed, but at the right point, bringing in Attorney General and whatever. The one particular thing I do want to say, I've done a lot of involvement with alternative dispute resolution. And we have a community mediation resources here in the city. And this might call for that. It sounds like this may be a particular instance that's beyond that. But I would at least start with, is this something, if the business owner, are there communications issues, are there whatever, I would try to hear all sides. And there are some mediation services available that might be, before necessarily lawsuits and criminality, if possible, working together to resolve. But if something is bad, and maybe even, if something is bad, but it's the only store in an area, and it's established or whatever, what can we do to encourage an alternative in the area?
Thank you. I think for the final question, and then we'll move to closing statements. How would you use your position as a council person to influence and help improve education in the district? And can you point to any specific success stories that you found among schools in the district?
I mentioned earlier, I'm excited about the high schools. I haven't heard that much about the Cherry Hill School. But in my going around Brooklyn and Curtis Bay, I've been very excited about the people I've met at several meetings on Curtis Bay Day and whatever, the people at Benjamin Franklin High School that now has its first senior class. And I'm looking forward very much to going in and maybe helping to do some civics type teaching there, which, whatever. By the way, I had in the ninth grade a teacher who made us pay to go into class and made us revolt against her, and we ended up doing a trip to New York. It's a long story that Mrs. Tiff, this is tough, something like that. So very excited, and indeed I have said to Nan, we have long planned that we're going away the Friday after the election through the Monday, somewhere, because we hadn't had a chance to get away. But I said, assuming I win, I may want to be at the ribbon cutting 11:30, 11 o'clock Friday morning at the school, because it sounds like great stuff. I was campaigning there and saw them painting the windows a week or so ago. I haven't been inside. I did go into the first hour of the hurricane. I was inside the school in Marl Park talking to the teachers who were setting up, and that was interesting. So I think we have there's exciting things happening in the schools. We also, most of us are represented by a state senator who's very school-oriented. I don't believe anybody has all the answers, but so exciting stuff is happening. But again, what I said, not just boosterism. If I'm here in a certain area, that this school, this whatever, is just going through the motions and is not really doing it, I will play a role in trying to expose that, bring that up. I'm not going to ignore hearing bad things, reports of bad stuff happening.